Good. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Thomas Gymnasium in Pinckneyville as the Carterville Lions prepare to take on the Pinckneyville Panthers in another exciting Southern Illinois River-to-River Conference Mississippi Division matchup between these two teams. And Scott, I promise you the Pinckneyville Panthers want this to be a revenge game. And after Carterville knocked off Pinckneyville back on February 13th, 45-38.
Yeah, 10 days ago, I think Carterville may have sneaked up on the Panthers a little bit. I don't think Pinckneyville, with their record and in the past what Pinckneyville had done to Carterville, maybe Carterville surprised it, but there will be no surprises tonight. Pinckneyville will be prepared, and you've heard this term at every level of every sport, and I think it holds true tonight for Carterville. Survive the first 5 minutes, because you're going to get a hard-pressing, coming right at you Pinckneyville Panther team early on, and Carterville's got to survive that first 5 minutes. If they do that and let everything settle down, they should be okay.
Absolutely, and that's not good for this Carterville team. They've not been a good starting team, except for maybe the Heron game. They've not been a quick starting team offensively because they're so defensive-oriented, and you're exactly right. I think that Pinckneyville's going to come out and throw everything they got at them right out of the gate.
Yeah, both Scotts are starting tonight, Kellen Scott and Dre Scott. The seniors, they're both going to start this game. So we'll see what happens. You have to remember, last game, Eli Down, didn't have a point at halftime. He was in foul trouble in the first quarter. Pinckneyville had their own foul problems with both Scotts, Kellen and Dre. So we'll have to see what happens, but Carterville's rock all year has been their defense. That's what's got them to the point where they had chances to win games at the end, and that's what they're going to have to rely on early in this game.
The Lions have won 6 of their 7 games this year. They've won 3 of their 4 conference games, and they need this win tonight to stay in that conference hunt. Got to remember, Carterville's not played Nashville yet. The game that was scheduled for the 20th was snowed out, so that game now is scheduled for March 1st. Next week, 4 games, and 2 of those will be a Nashville game, so it's going to be busy. This is the SIU Credit Union pregame show, and both teams are on the floor going through their warm-ups, and not a lot of fans here. There's a handful, probably about 40 or so, that are in the crowd here at Pinckneyville, but we are excited to be able to bring you Carterville Lions basketball, especially coming off that upset win that they had Saturday night at Centralia, 27-26, an outstanding game. Came down to the game-winning shot by Bryce Anderson, and you got to think that these boys, they can either feed off of that or they could be emotionally and mentally drained because it's been a hard 10 days.
I think after the Pinckneyville game, my biggest concern going into the Centralia game was, is Carterville full of themselves, so to speak? They just beat Pinckneyville. Now do they think that, okay, we can just, show up and we can beat anybody? But they didn't do that. They went and they worked their butts off against Centralia. They earned that victory. So I think this team is playing with a lot of confidence. I haven't seen that mental part of the game where they feel like, okay, we're better than anybody we play on the floor. I think Coach Hawkins has this team very well grounded.
And actually, you're going to hear Coach Shane Hawkins talk about exactly that coming up here in just a moment, as you're going to hear from the coach as we continue on our SIU Credit Union pregame show, getting you set for Carterville Lions and the Pinckneyville Panthers right here on News Radio WJPF. Hey, everybody online. Nice to have you this evening. Getting ready to play the coaches interview back at the studio. Unfortunately, you won't be able to hear that here on the live stream. Glad to have you. Lots of you already. And the JV game just went a little bit long. JV got the win 55-51. So I hope that's a good omen for tonight for the Lions. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the game. Instead of the coach's interview, we will entertain you with Scott Hudson's rendition of Thunderstruck, as backed up by AC/DC.
Probably my favorite all-time band.
Thunderstruck. There you go. Scott Hudson, right there. You look outstanding in your little outfit.
Yeah, I look just like Angus, don't I?
Absolutely. Go on to your commercials, Brian, after this. Coming up next, Scott Hudson will be doing his rendition of Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time.
No, actually, I think my song about me that I don't even know who sings this song, but it's called let's see, I'm a loser, so why don't you kill me?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
That's my theme song.
It is Luke Beck.
This is NewsRadio WJPF, 92.5 ACDR, 99.5 FM.
Back in Pinckneyville, Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson, as we're getting you set for Carterville Lions basketball here on NewsRadio WJPF. Carterville coming in 6-1. Scott Hudson 3-1 in conference. Pinckneyville 6-2, 3-2 in conference. And man, I am looking forward to this matchup tonight.
Yeah, it should be a great matchup. You know, when was the last time that, and I know this is an abbreviated season, but when was the last time Carterville was at the point in the season where they were thinking about a conference championship? It's been a while, but Carterville has a chance tonight to prove that 10 days ago that win over Pinckneyville wasn't a fluke.
Tough schedule coming up for the Lions, 8 games in 14 days.
Yeah, that's not going to be easy. Now, this is where Carterville's depth will really come in. Carterville plays about 10 guys a game, so their depth is really going to come in handy over those games.
The Lions have won 4 in a row, and of course they're coming off that big upset win, 27-26 Saturday night at Centralia. We're going to get you set for basketball action right here as the Lions face the Panthers when we return. It's the starting lineups and the tip. The Carterville Lions at Pinckneyville. Coming up next on News Radio WJPF.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's game between the Carterville Lions and your Pinckneyville Panthers. At this time, would everyone please stand, and gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars the rule the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Don't know who that was, but that was outstanding.
And now the starting lineups for this matchup. First for the visiting
What a
team,
national
Carterville
anthem, Scott
Lions.
Hudson. That was fantastic. Don't know who
Lions
it was. I
starting
don't
at
believe
guard
it was
position,
live in
number
the
10,
studio
Bryce
or in the
Anderson.
gym here.
Also at
That
guard
was
is number
fantastic.
12,
As
Peyton
Dave
Biddle.
McKenzie and Scott Hudson getting you ready for
Third
Carterville
guard
Lions
position, number
basketball.
21,
And
Caden
first we'll start with the
At
Carterville
forward is
Lions, who
number
are the
22,
visiting team in
Ben
their Road
Hayes.
Blues tonight. It's going to
And
be
at
the same
forward,
starting
number
lineup. I
24,
said to
Eli
Coach, I
Downing.
said, who you starting tonight? He said, I'm
Carterville
not
Lions
changing
are coached by
anything. We're
Shane
going to stay with
Hawkins,
it.
assisted
So
by
it'll be
Lane
the 5'8
Alexander,
senior
Reed
Bryce
Basso,
Anderson,
Nathan Biddle,
the
Dwayne
5'6
Laird,
sophomore
and Kevin
Peyton
Tony.
Biddle, and the 5'10
the
sophomore
starting
Caden
lineups for
Hawkins
your
on the
Pinckneyville
outside.
Panthers.
Those are the 3 guards. Throw in Max Poole,
At
the
guard
6'3
position,
senior,
number
and
10,
Eli down in the
Restoff,
6'4
Ben Restoff.
senior, the starting 5
Another
for Shane
guard, number
Hawkins,
12,
Anderson,
Adcock,
Biddle, Hawkins,
Nile, Adcock.
Hake, and Downing.
At a forward, number 20.
Well, why change
Scott
anything up when it's
Calvin
working well?
Scott.
4 straight wins
At
for
a
this
forward,
team.
number 30,
They play very well.
Bansky.
The last time these two teams
Bansky.
met, Carterville
And at
had
forward,
less than
number 23,
10 turnovers.
Scott.
Carterville
Trey
shot the ball
Scott.
better than Pinckneyville in that
Head
game
coach
from
of
the
the
field.
Panthers, Bob Wagner.
Carterville's probably going to have to do that and
By
then
Ricky
some
Williams.
to win here tonight.
Coach Bob Wagner has changed up his lineup from when we faced them the first time. He's going to go with the 6'2 senior Ben Restoff, 6'3 junior Nile Adcock, the 6'2 sophomore Kellen Scott, and then his brother, the 6'5 senior Dre Scott, and then the 6' junior Vaden Sabansky. So for Coach Bob Wagner, Restoff, Adcock, Kellen Scott, Dre Scott and Vaden Shapansky. As we get you set, Carterville Lions have the ball to start things off. Thank you for tuning in to Lions basketball, and don't forget you can also watch it on our live stream. Just head to YouTube and search Carterville Lions at Pinckneyville Panthers. You get the radio call and the video right there, and we are glad to have you with us here with Lions basketball. Caden Harkins starts things off with about a 15-footer, and Carterville takes the early 2-0 lead.
Pinckneyville comes out in a 2-1-2 zone.
Pinckneyville ball. They're going to work around the perimeter as we are just underway. Carterville up 2-0. And the shot no good. Rebound underneath by Dre Scott. He gets the rebound and put back. And it got fouled and is going to go to the line and shoot free throws.
Yeah, Dre Scott is very athletic for a big man. Carterville's going to have to make sure they keep him off the offensive glass.
Dre Scott shooting
Ben
2.
Hake picked up the first foul of the game. The shot was missed by Dre, but he's at the line shooting 2. He had 10 points in that last game against Carterville back in on February 13th. Second from Scott is good as well. And we're tied at 2. Carterville ball, full court pressure being applied by the Panthers. Caden Hawkins breaks it easily, works around the left side. Nice pass down low to Eli Downen. Thought he was going to be able to get the shot off, but the ball's thrown out of bounds and saved, and a turnover on the Lions. Panthers have it in the front court. Up top it goes. They work around to the left wing. Drive the paint. Shot up off the block. Put back. It hangs on the rim. No good. And the Panthers get the board. Bank shot off the glass. It's good, though, by Vaden Shapansky. He has his first field goal, and Pinckneyville's up by 2.
Now already 3 offensive rebounds for Pinckneyville.
And of late, that's not been what Carterville does. They rebound very well. They get the outlet pass into the front court. Now they can set the offense. Peyton Biddle over to Eli, down and toward the left wing. Up top to Caden Hawkins. 6.5 on the clock, 4-2 Panther lead. Behind the back dribble from the free throw line. Caden Hawkins in, out, no good. Rebound, Panthers. Quickly the other way, into the front court. Shapansky, rather. Down low, they get it to Scott on the block. Gets the ball blocked from behind. That was Downen that got a hand on it. Lions on the run. Nice pass, Eli Downen. Oh, but he can't convert. The pass from Bryce Anderson saw Downen sneak in behind the defenders, but couldn't get the layup to fall. Panthers have it in the front court. Shapansky over to the right side from 3. That shot no good. Taken by Kellen Scott. And a foul on the Pinckneyville Panthers.
I think they're going to call Dre Scott. He shoved either Hake or Downen in the back trying to get that offensive rebound.
Lions ball, length of the floor to go. It was Downen that triggered. Bryce Anderson runs into the defender, or a foul is going to be called on Ben Restoff.
Number 10, Restoff, his first personal, second Panther team foul.
Of course, as you can hear, we have the speaker from the PA just basically on our shoulders here at Pinckneyville tonight, so you'll hear clearly the call. Caden Hawkins, nice job into the front court. Has the pass tipped away, though. Second turnover on the Lions. They take it the other way. The Panthers with the ball. Restoff, top of the key to Adcock. Fires from 3 and good.
Three-pointer, Niall Adcock.
7-2 Panther lead. Over to Hake, who misses the 15-footer, no good, but Bryce Anderson gets the board. Takes it to the low block, skip pass around the perimeter to Caden Hawkins. Leaves it for Peyton Biddle, head fake by Biddle, now to Downen. It's a big sidestep, drives down the lane, puts it up, gets fouled. And Eli Downen will go to the line to shoot free throws.
Yeah, Carterville, 2 turnovers already in this first quarter. And Pinckneyville, 3 offensive rebounds. Has really hurt Carterville here early.
At the line for the Lions is 24.
Shapansky picks up the foul for the Panthers. Eli Downen looking for his first point of the game. And he misses the first free throw. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in downtown Carterville for over 30 years. Charlie's can handle any heating or cooling system issue that you could be experiencing. No job is too big or too small. Call 985-2502 for Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating. Downen hits the second free throw. Carterville trails by 4 at the 5:04 mark. Nice pass down low And the right-hand layup is good by Joey Iacino. And it's 9-3 Pinckneyville. Downen takes it across midcourt to the free throw line. Spin move, puts the shot up off the front of the iron. No good. Rebound to Dre Scott. Dre brings it across the timeline himself. Over to the right wing, that is Shapansky. Now they work it to the left side. Iacino has it, left wing, top of the circle, between top of the key. And now just inside the arc, jump shot no good from Dre Scott. Rebound, Caden Hawkins. Behind the back, across the timeline to the free throw line, takes it the low block, puts it up off the glass, gets fouled, and Caden Hawkins now will go to the stripe to shoot free throws for the Lions.
Yeah, the sophomore just couldn't get it to go. But this is where Carterville's got to get back in this game. I know they're only down by 6, but you've got to start making your free throws when you get there.
We have a timeout on the floor, and I believe it was taken by Coach Bob Wagner. And it's at the 4:21 mark. Pinckneyville leads at 9-3. This is Lions basketball on News Radio WJPF. It's a 60, Brian.
The Southern Illinois River to River Athletic Conference stands united in support of good sportsmanship. We are confident that our players, coaches, and officials are doing their very best to display the spirit of healthy competition. We ask that everyone in attendance tonight support this endeavor. Pinckneyville and Carterville High Schools, thank you for your cooperation.
Back at Pinckneyville, Caden Hawkins at the line, misses the first of 2 free throws here at the 4:21 mark. Panthers up 9-3. Panthers have 14 fouls. Carterville has 1. Hawkins hits the second free throw. He's got 3 of the 4 points for the Lions. Carterville picks up the pressure in the backcourt defensively. They get it into the front court. That's Trey Mall, who did not play in the first game at Carterville, but he's in the lineup right now for Coach Bob Wagner. The shot no good, and it's out of bounds off the Panthers.
Pinckneyville's getting a lot of open looks. They haven't hit all of them, but they're doing a much better job of finding guys open than they did in this first meeting.
Shot from the right wing from Peyton Biddle is no good. It's Mole that gets the rebound, and he gets fouled.
Personal foul on the Lions, 21.
It's going to be on Caden Hawkins, who picks up his personal foul.
Team foul.
It's going to look back, at the end of the first quarter in that first matchup, it was a 6-3 lead by Pinckneyville. Panthers have the ball, though, top of the key. Over to the left wing. Shapansky takes it to the low block. Shot up, no good. Rebound to Carterville's Ben Hake. Lions, Cade Lustenberger into the game now for Coach Shane Hawkins. Left-hand dribble, backs his man down on the block, puts it up off the side of the glass. He got fouled, and Lustenberger can go to the line and shoot 2 free throws as well.
He was not going to be denied. I mean, he got the ball on the right sideline near the corner, and he just said, you know what, I'm going to take Mr. Scott one-on-one, and he drew the foul. Now he's going to have to go to the free throw line and hopefully hit a couple of free throws.
Kellen Scott picks up the foul. Yeah, he put his arm up right in the guy's chest and just drove him to the
checking in for the Panthers,
to the block.
Number 10 Restoff and number 12 Adcock. In for the Lions, number 33 Seamer.
So Lustenberger at the line hits the first. It's 9-5. Panthers on top by 4. Number 40, the 6'5 sophomore, has the ball. 1 dribble. Free throw is in the air and good. So now the Lions trail by 3. 3:20 remaining here in the opening quarter. Panthers ball, though. Kellen Scott, the left corner. Now they get it to Maul, and now they work it around to the right wing. Very good, long three off the back of the iron. The shot taken by Riggins, no good. Gets the rebound, though. Now to the right corner. To the right of the key. Now they bring it to the left wing. Skip pass right side to Restoff. Takes it down into the free throw line. Shot up, no good. Rebound to Lustenberger. Carterville's basketball. Caden Hawkins to Cade Lustenberger. Now into the game as well is Max Poole. He has the ball on the right wing. Dribbles with the left hand to the free throw line. Gets it to Biddle. Biddle leaves it for Caden Hawkins. Spin move at the free throw line. And a travel is going to be called on Max Poole.
Yeah, just tried to do a little bit too much.
This Lions broadcast is brought to you by SIH. That's where they offer rehabilitation for acute inpatient and outpatient care. Visit SIH.net for more information. Riggins has the pass, goes out of bounds, and they're going to say it was off of Carterville's Max Poole. Nice pressure there by Poole on that pass, anticipating the pass.
Pinckneyville has already played more players in this game than they did the entire game in the first meeting.
Eli Downen, who was able to get a breather, he checks back in, and so he'll replace Ben Hake, who comes to the sideline.
Some things never change. Carterville still only one field goal in this first quarter, only down by 3.
Only down 3. Broken record. We'll take it, though.
Yep.
Under 2 to play here in the first quarter. Riggins now to Restoff as the Carterville bench players give their teammates a round of applause. Good defense, but a floater through the lane is Vaden Shapansky, who makes it. He's got 4 of the 11 for the Panthers, and it's a 5-point lead for Pinckneyville. Shane Hawkins shouts out the play for the Lions. Caden Hawkins now the left side to Max Poole. Back to Hawkins. He just drives down the lane. Right-hand layup is no good, too strong. Panthers get the rebound. It's Adcock in the backcourt, into the front court now with Riggins. Spin move at the low block. His shot is blocked by Eli Downen, and Peyton Biddle gets the rebound, or gets the ball for the Lions. Takes it right to the block, runs over the defender, and a charge is going to be called on Peyton Biddle.
Yeah, last 2 possessions, Hawkins can't finish on a layup, and now Biddle plays a little bit out of control and runs over his defender. Carterville still with only 1 field goal in this first quarter.
Lions, number 10.
Bryce Anderson replaces Caden Hawkins, who comes to the near sideline just below us here at Pinckneyville. It's a 5-point Panther lead. Restoff quickly into the front court to Shapansky. Up top it goes to Riggins. Now they work to the right side. Under a minute to play. 11-6, long 3, top of the key. High off the rim, no good. Eli Downen, the board for the Lions. Carterville can slow it down. Bryce Anderson takes over, sets the offense for the Lions. 40 seconds remaining. Over to Peyton Biddle. And now to Max Poole. Into the free throw line. Turnaround jumper from Downen, no good. It was a fadeaway. And the Panthers now can slow things down as Duke Riggins claps his hand, bringing the ball across the timeline. 20 seconds on this first quarter clock. To Restoff. 14, 13, 12 remaining in the opening quarter. Restoff gets the pick, takes it top of the key. Now to Kellen Scott, his three-pointer, no good. Rebound for Downen, and they're going to say he traveled with the ball. Just never really came up with it clean and tried to take off with it and gives it back to the Panthers with 2.1 seconds on the clock.
Carterville with 5 turnovers in this first quarter.
2.1 on the clock. Long 3 at the buzzer. Good.
Three-pointer.
That was Duke Riggins as he buries the 3 at the buzzer, and that extends the lead to 14-6 as we head to the second quarter. Stay with us. Second quarter action next here on News Radio WJPF.
Cheerleaders are Tristan Morgenstern, Jade Riley, Emma Francis, Cagney Katowski, Abby Kaburski, Delaney Lee, Aaliyah Barnett, Madison Braun, Bailey Feltmeyer, Chris Kreger, Alexandria Gaines, Catherine Jackson, Eddie Lindner, Harmony Pesca, Bailey Taylor, Elena Travelstead, Callie Wildermuth, and Carrington Lacey.
Back at Pinckneyville as we start play here in the second quarter. The Lions, or the Panthers, lead at 14-6.
29% from the field for Pinckneyville, only 12% for the Lions.
Panthers have the ball to start play here in the second quarter. Long three, top of the key. Too strong, rebound for Cade Lustenberger. Carterville has the basketball. Bryce Anderson will cross the logo at midcourt. Right side. They get the ball down low to Down, and he loses the handle. Needs some help. Finds Anderson, who's just going to fire from three. Off the arm. Peyton Biddle. What a beautiful save. He gets it to Max Poole. Back to Anderson. Down low to Downen. Right hand hook is no good. Doesn't hit anything. Max Poole's there to clean it up. And the ball is slapped out of his hands and goes out of bounds.
Carterville 1 of 10 from the field to start this game, only down by 8.
Lustenberger now to Downen. Over to Bryce Anderson. Pops from the left corner.
Three-pointer.
Bryce Anderson with the tray.
Boy, Carterville needed that in a big way.
Yes, they did. They trail by 5, 14-9. Down low, it's Restoff. Has Max Poole on him. They work around the top of the arc. Now top of the key, left wing to the left corner. Drives the baseline, lays it up off the glass. Open lane by Niall Adcock, and he converts.
Yeah, he went right by Bryce Anderson. Nobody came over to stop him when he went to the hole.
16-9, 7-point lead once again for the Panthers. Bryce Anderson just across midcourt between the leg dribble, left side to Peyton Biddle. Biddle toward the left wing, dribbles in once, twice, now kick pass right side. That is a long three off the iron by Max Poole. Rebound down low, and the putback is good from Eli Downen.
Let's hope that gets down and going.
Remember, in that first matchup, no points at the half for Downen as he was in foul trouble. 6-11 in the game, no fouls on Downen, and he has 3 points and a whistle and a foul on the Panthers.
First turnover by Pinckneyville in this game.
12, Niall Adcock, his first.
Now Adcock picks up the foul, gives the ball to the Lions.
In for the Panthers, number 23.
This
Bryce
Lions
Scott,
broadcast is
number
brought to you by
33.
the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702. Glad to have him as a sponsor of Lions Sports. IBEW Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all. Shane Hawkins does it all. Has a towel on his foot, wiping up the moisture off the floor in his bright orange kicks.
You know what? I'm going to say after watching that exhibition by Coach Hawkins, I think when he gets into the basketball, he's going to be a janitor.
Yeah, he could very well do that.
I think he's got it in his genes.
I know that he really likes the fact that not wearing suits during games.
Oh,
and
I don't know how
that,
people do it.
And he says he hopes that coaches stay with it all around the country. Long three from the Lions is off the iron, no good. Panthers get the board. It's a 5-point lead for Pinckneyville. 12-footer from the left side, no good. The putback, it's Dre Scott that was there to get the rebound, and he got fouled from behind. And Dre Scott, the 6'5 senior, will go to the line.
He's already got 5 rebounds in this game. 3 of those are offensive rebounds. And the one thing you can't do with Pinckneyville is give them second chance opportunities. They're not actually shooting the lights out either, but you can't let them have those second chance opportunities.
Scott misses the first. The 6'5 senior. He had 10 points in that last meeting. He hits the second. He's got 3, and all 3 of his points have come from the line this evening. 17-11, a 6-point lead for the Panthers. Lustenberger now to an open Bryce Anderson. Fires from 3, down and tips the ball from behind. It's on the floor, battle for it. They tie it up, and they're going to call the jump ball, and the possession arrow is going to keep the ball with the Lions.
Yeah, I'll give credit to Down. He's the one that kept that ball alive after the missed 3 by Anderson.
He just punched it out as it was going to the hands of the Panthers player. Caden Hawkins, top of the circle. Now they work toward the left wing. Down and takes it down in the low block and gets it to Lustenberger from the left elbow. Lustenberger converts. He has 4.
Lustenberger.
And Carterville's pulled to within 4. Panthers ball. Adcock, right side. Right wing, down to the right quarter, finds a man down low, cutting toward the bucket. That was Adcock. Now Adcock, he converts. He's got 7 for the Panthers, and it's back to a 6-point lead.
Yeah, Adcock has the size on Anderson, and they're taking advantage of that right now.
Adcock 6'3", he's a junior as well. 19-13, 4.5, just over 4.5 left. Boy, look at Cade Lustenberger. 10-footer is good for Lustenberger, and we have a timeout on the floor, and that's here at the 4:38 mark of the second quarter. We'll take a break as well. Panthers lead it by 4, 19-15. This is Lions basketball on News Radio WJPF. It's a 30. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by the Bank of Carbondale with 5 area locations to serve your banking needs. Branch and ATM locator you can find online at tboc.com. The Bank of Carbondale, proud to support high school athletes and your Carterville Lions, member FDIC, equal housing lender. It's a 4-point lead for the Panthers.
Yeah, Carterville's done much better shooting the ball in the second quarter. They've made 4 field goals. I think what Pinckneyville's doing, Pinckneyville's in that zone defense. They're saying, you know what, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to do it from the outside because we're not sure that you can do that, and they're not going to let Downen go off on them like he did the last game in the second half.
And Downen had 14 in that first matchup. And as we said earlier, he had no points at the half because he was on the bench with foul trouble. Pass down low to the low block. The shot was blocked by Downen and maybe a little Lustenberger mixed in there as well, but it's going to stay with the Panthers.
Yeah, Lustenberger stood his ground and then comes down and just swatted out of bounds.
They get the inbound pass to Riggins. Turnaround jumper's no good. Rebound Adcock, and he puts it back. Adcock. He has 9 to lead all scorers in the game.
6 offensive rebounds for Pinckneyville right now.
And a 6-point lead, 21-15. 4:05 remaining in the first half. Carterville 6-1. They are 3-1 in conference. Panthers are 3-2 in conference with a 6-2 mark overall. And remember, Carterville has not played Nashville yet. Be doing that coming up on March 1st. Carterville looking at 8 games over the course of the next 14 days. As Caden Hawkins gets the right-hand runner. That's his second field goal tonight. He's got 5. And Carterville's down 4. Iacino into the game on the left wing. Right-hand dribble, top of the circle. They work it around to Restoff. He looks inside, gets it to Dre Scott. Long 3, top of the key is good from Riggins. That's his second 3-pointer here in the first half. And it's a 7-point lead once again for the Panthers.
I don't think Pinckneyville had a 3 in the first half against Carterville in that first game.
I can tell you real quick. They only had 1 all night long in the entire game.
Yeah. They've already got 3 in this game.
Into the game for the Lions, number 12, Peyton Biddle.
Peyton Biddle checks in for Coach Shane
20,
Hawkins. He's going to replace
Scott.
Max Poole.
Also
Kellen
for the
Scott
Panthers,
into the game
30,
now for
Vaden
Coach
Shapansky.
Bob Wagner, and also coming in is Vaden Shapansky. So there's 2:58 remaining. It's 24-17 Panthers, the 7-point lead. Carterville has the ball, though. Peyton Biddle to Eli down and way out top. Now they work right side to Caden Hawkins. Anderson takes it just inside the arc. Open three for Eli. Downing from the left wing is good.
Three-pointer, Eli Downing.
6 in the game for Downing now. And it's back to a 4-point lead for the Panthers, and a pushing foul is going to be called on Caden Hawkins.
Personal foul on the
Carterville
Lions,
has hit 4 of their
21,
last.
Caden Hawkins.
Have hit
His
4
second.
shots in a row in the second
Fifth
quarter. They have 6
Lions
total
team
field
foul.
goals in this second quarter, but still trail by 4.
They were down 14-6 at the end of the first quarter. 14 points put on the board by the Lions here in the first 6 minutes of this second quarter. Panthers have the 4-point lead. Kellen Scott to his brother Dre. They work it to the right wing. That is Japansky. Now back to Restoff. Left-hand dribble from the left corner. Kellen Scott pops for 3 for the Panthers.
Kellen.
His first field goal of the game. It's a 3-pointer. Back to a 7-point lead for the Panthers. Peyton Biddle on the left wing needs some help. Dribbles inside the arc, dribbles back out, gets it to Downing. They try to get it to Caden Hawkins. He fires from 15. No good. Rebound Panthers, and a timeout is taken by Coach
for the
Bob
Panthers, number
Wagner
21,
here
Trey
with
Ball.
1:55 remaining
In for
in
the
the
Lions,
second
number
quarter.
22,
Panthers
Ben
call the
Hayes.
timeout. It will be a full timeout, and the Panthers lead at 27-20 here on News Radio WJPF. Minute 55 remaining in the half. Pinckneyville leads at 27-20.
Carterville shot the ball well, Dave, in this second quarter, but Pinckneyville has shot even better, and that's why they have the 7-point lead.
Coming up at half, we'll have your IBEW Local 702 halftime report. We'll break down this first half. Run down the schedule coming up for the Lions, as it's going to be brutal over the course next 14 days. We'll get you set for that and get you set for second half action. 27-20, 90 seconds remaining here in the half. Panthers basketball. Coach Shane Hawkins was not a happy camper in that timeout with his Carterville Lions. They've given up too many rebounds, given up too many wide open shots, yet they only trail by 7. But they got to remember the Lions are coming off a big win over the Panthers back on the 13th, 45-38. And then, of course, last Saturday night, that big win on the road at Centralia. Panthers content to hold the ball. Bryce Anderson has to come out and put pressure on the Panthers. Under a minute to play. 53 seconds. They're just going to work the perimeter and apparently try to hold for the final shot. And Carterville's content to let them do so. Back and forth they go across the top of the key between Adcock and Restoff for the Panthers. 30 seconds remaining, and they just throw.
Wow.
Oh, it was tipped.
Oh, I was going to say.
Out of bounds. I didn't see who got, I don't know if it was Peyton Biddle that got a hand on it or.
You know, Dave, again, this is just me. I'm not a coach, but there was probably a minute and a half. Well, it's more than that. Maybe 2 minutes or more when Pinckneyville got the ball. If I'm down by 7, I'm not going to allow them to just pass the ball around without at least some pressure, maybe try to force a turnover.
You've only got 5 fouls. Would you put him at the line?
Well, no, I would
you
put
foul
them at the line. I'm just saying put pressure on, maybe force them into a turnover.
Yeah. 15 seconds remaining here. 27-20. 10 seconds now on the clock. Now they'll move toward the hole. They get it to Adcock. Around top of the key, Adcock gets it back. Right wing it goes to Rastoff. Stutter step, leaves it in the corner. At the buzzer, it's short, no good. They held the ball for about 90 seconds on that possession and do not come away with any points. So as we head to the half, it's the Panthers 27. Carterville has 20. Stay with us. The IBEW Local 702 halftime report is coming up next on News Radio WJPF. Excuse me. We're at the half at Pinckneyville, where the Panthers have a 7-point lead. Scott Hudson 27-20.
Carterville in that first half shot 35% from the field. They made 2 of 6 threes. They were 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Pinckneyville 37% from the field. They were 4 of 10 from beyond the arc. That's pretty good, 40%. And Pinckneyville was 3 of 4 from the line. Rebounding, Pinckneyville out-rebounded Carterville 14-12. They were led in rebounding by Adcock and Dre Scott, both with 5. Downen led Carterville with 3 turnovers. Carterville with 5 turnovers. Pinckneyville with only 1 turnover in that first half.
When you look at the scoring for the Pinckneyville Panthers, they are led by Niall Adcock, who has 9. Duke Riggins has added 2 trays for the Panthers. He's got 6 here at the half. Kellen Scott with 3. Dre Scott with 3 free throws. Vaden Shapansky with 4 points for Coach Bob Wagner, and Joey Iacino with 2. The score here at the half is 27-20. Of course, we mentioned it in the pregame show. Carterville has a busy stretch of basketball. And remember, they were supposed to play Nashville back on February 20th, and we had snow. So now that game is scheduled for March 1st. Now coming up Friday night, the Lions will host the DuQuoin Indians. The one loss on the Lions schedule this year was on the road at DuQuoin. DuQuoin got that one 61-46. Carterville did not play well in that game. And they're a much different team than what we saw in DuQuoin. But you follow that up. Monday the 1st at Nashville. March 2nd at Anna Jonesboro. That's a Tuesday night. Then Friday the 5th, the Lions will host Nashville. And on Saturday, March 6th, the Lions will have a non-conference game when they head to Vienna to take on the Eagles. Then the last 2 games of the season will feature on March 8th. They'll host Massac County. That game was originally scheduled for the 25th, I think, 2 nights from now.
Yes.
And then we'll wrap up the basketball season coming up on the 9th, Sparta at home.
A lot of basketball in a short period of time. I hope you got your vocal cords ready for this.
I'm struggling tonight for some reason.
It's going to be you got some tough games. 2 with Nashville in that mix.
And Nashville leads the conference, right?
Yeah, and they're looking at this game, hoping that Carterville loses. because they will, that will give Carterville 2 losses in the conference. And, of course, Nashville's already beaten Pinckneyville. Carterville's got to go play the non-conference game with Massac County. And so that won't be easy. So a lot of games to come up in a short period of time.
27-20 is the score here at Pinckneyville. We'll continue with our IBEW Local 702 halftime show here on News Radio WJPF.
No matter how far, just call my name. I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe.
Ricola. Is there anybody else playing tonight?
Heron and Harrisburg.
That's right. (27-20) the score here at the half. Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson as we're getting you ready for second half action. I think there's only one other game that we're aware of, and that's Heron at Harrisburg tonight.
Yeah,
And,
no score on that yet.
Yeah, I've not seen anything, but 7-point lead for the Panthers here. I wanted to talk about Nashville, and when you look at the standings in the River to River Conference, Nashville coming into tonight 4-0, Carterville 3-1, Pinckneyville 3-2. DuQuoin is 2-2, Anna Jonesboro 1-4, and Sparta is 0-4. Of course, Sparta, this is their last season in the River to River Conference. They're going, what is it? The Cahokia Conference? Is that right?
I think that's the name of it with schools like Red Bud and Freeburg, which is obviously, that's a smart move for them.
Logistically, it's a smart move.
Yeah, they're a lot closer venues to go play at, and probably going to be a little bit more competitive than they are in the River to River.
So we didn't get to mention that when we were at Sparta last week, that was the last time we're probably going to be doing, unless it's a regional at Sparta for some reason. But they always treated us well, and just that got by us before we got off the broadcast last week. We're going to go on and take our final break. When we come back, second half action coming up. Lions got some work to do. They trail by 7. Stay with us. Lions second half action next on News Radio WJPF. Heron up 14 at second quarter. Thank you for tuning in to Carterville Lions basketball here on News Radio WJPF. I'm Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson alongside as we're getting you set here for second half action. What do the Lions need to do, Scotty?
Well, they got to pick it up on the defensive end. They can't give Pinckneyville as many open looks as they did in that first half. Go back to the second quarter. Carterville shot 50% from the field, which is very good, but they allowed Pinckneyville to shoot 50% as well, along with those 2 threes. So Carterville's just got to D up a little bit better in this second half.
Carterville and the Road Blues, they'll be moving from right to left, but it's the Panthers with the basketball to start play here in the second half as they get it into the front court. No tip in high school basketball. No tip-offs to start or at the half. They just, I believe they flip a coin to see who gets the possession to start the game. Open three from field goal from the right side is no good.
And a foul.
And a pushing foul underneath is going to be called on Dre Scott of Pinckneyville.
Yeah, Dana did a very good job of keeping him off of the boards. And Dre Scott just came over the back. And he's going to.
Panther team foul.
That's his third personal. That's big here early in the third quarter.
Lions the length of the floor to go. On the floor for Coach Shane Hawkins, Eli Downen, Bryce Anderson, Peyton Biddle, Caden Hawkins, and Ben Hake. Hake has the ball right now. Gets it to Downen over to Anderson. 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, left side he goes. Leaves it for Hake, who's open. Shot no good. Oh, what a tip from Eli Downen. Right back to Ben Hake, and he converts it. What a beautiful job from the senior Eli Downen to Hake.
Excellent job by Downen. That's what you call a hustle play.
Ball was going out of bounds. He looked back, saw Hake underneath the basket, and saved it from going out of bounds and bounce pass perfectly to Hake, who converts. And we have a whistle on the other end. It's going to be a foul on Vaden Shapansky. That's the second, and Coach Bob Wagner calls the timeout with just 57 seconds gone here in the third quarter. It's going to be a full one. Carterville's pulled to within 5, 27-22 Lions basketball here on News Radio WJPF. $60.
Eli Downen.
What a beautiful
Anderson
conversion for the Lions, as it was a lob pass to Eli Downen. He's able to make it out, make it off the glass coming out of the timeout, and Carterville's down 3, Scott Hudson.
Yeah, a great set play as Anderson got the ball out on the right wing and just threw up a lob pass. Down and went and got it and kissed it off the glass. Now Biddle's called for the personal, but Carterville's really picked things up early in the third.
As they've been doing of late. The ball on the floor, Carterville ties it up, goes out of bounds off of Bryce Anderson, and it's going to stay with the Panthers. 27-24. It was 14-6 Pinckneyville at the end of 1. They led it there to half, 27-20, and Carterville's dug their way back into this. They trail by 3, 6.5 remaining in the third quarter. Panthers basketball. Shapansky has the ball. His pass tipped away. Carterville comes away with it. Turnover on the Panthers. Peyton Biddle to Eli Downen. To the elbow, leaves it over to the right side to Anderson. Little jumper from Ben Hake, no good. And the rebound to Adcock of the Panthers. Outlet pass to Shapansky. Back to Kellen Scott. His jumper's no good. And Bryce Anderson gets the board. Carterville can cut into this 3-point lead.
Pinckneyville's come out very, very slow offensively in this third quarter, and Carterville's taking advantage of it.
Wide open on the left wing. Peyton Biddle passes up the shot. Gets it to Anderson, now to Caden Hawkins. Eli Downen, turnaround jumper from about 12 is no good. Doesn't hit anything. Rebound off to the Panthers on the right side. Kellen Scott now top of the key. They work left side. With the basketball, that's Duke Riggins. Gets it to Shapansky. Now to Adcock. Back to Restoff. Give and go back and forth between he and Duke Riggins. Puts his elbow into the defender, and a charging foul is going to be called on Ben Restoff.
Pinckneyville only had one turnover in the first half. They've already got 3 here in the third quarter.
In for the Panthers, 33, Iacino.
5:23 remaining here in the third. Panthers have a 3-point lead. Carterville has the ball, though. Oh, open three. Peyton Biddle buries it from the left wing. Peyton's been kind of quiet. That's his first point of the game. But guess what? At the 5:08 mark, Carterville has tied it up at 27.
Pinckneyville's just daring Carterville to beat them from the outside, and Biddle made them pay on that play.
Panthers have it. Under 5 to play here in the third. Ball's tipped away. Bryce Anderson's there, but it's Kellen Scott that controls. I don't know how it wasn't a backcourt violation.
I think they're going to say that Anderson tipped the ball.
Yep. Adcock pulls up the dribble. Carterville forces the swing pass across the floor. On the right side, into the free throw line. A charge is called on on Iacino.
And guess who's laying on the floor?
Bryce Anderson.
Iacino, his first personal.
Timeout taken by Coach Bob Wagner. He's not a happy camper. Carterville has tied this game up at the 5:08 mark here in the third with 4:33 remaining. We're still tied at 27. Lions basketball here on News Radio WJPF. $60. 27 at the 4:33 mark here in the third quarter.
Carterville on a 7-0 run to start this third quarter. They've shot the ball well. They've stepped up that defense like I said they needed to at the start of this third quarter. We got us a game.
They were listening to you, buddy.
Well, you know, that's
you got some pull around here.
Boy, I might have to get on the payroll.
Caden Hawkins found an open lane down the left side, but he can't convert the left-hand layup. Scott, you heard Coach Hawkins talking about how many points Carterville was left on the board with easy shots at the rim they just couldn't finish. That example, that drive by Caden is just a perfect example of that.
Yeah, those are the ones you got to convert, especially against a good team like Pinckneyville.
Coach said the defense is so far ahead, and a turnover again on the Panthers. It's going to be give the ball right back to Carterville.
5 turnovers, and we haven't even played half of the third quarter.
I got Carterville for 5
total.
Right now.
Yeah.
And those were all in the first half. Carterville doing a much better job, a chance to take the lead here on this possession. Caden Hawkins a little crazy, gets it to Eli Downen. Now to Anderson on the right wing. Gets the screen from Downen, has to reverse. Now Peyton Biddle takes over. Left-hand dribble to Downen. Long three, left wing, off the front of the iron, no good. Ball, Peyton Biddle charges in, gets it, puts it up at the rack. It's a foul. Oh, it just slid off the front of the iron. But Peyton Biddle will go to the line and shoot 2 free throws after the foul by the Panthers.
23, Dre Scott.
That's
his 4th.
That's already Pinckneyville's 5th team foul.
The line for the Lions, number 12.
Peyton Biddle has a 3-pointer, and his first free throw rims out. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in downtown Carterville. For installs and repairs, call 985-2502. and get back to comfort this season. Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating proudly supporting Carterville Lions sports. Biddle misses both free throws. Got to convert. Still tied at 27. 3.5 remaining here in the third quarter. Pass down to the low block. Turnaround jumper is good. That's what you call taking the pass in the shooting motion. That was just a pretty shot from Mole. 2-point lead for the Panthers, 29-27. And Carterville's first turnover of the second half comes on a travel, giving the ball back to the Panthers.
Pinckneyville has both of the Scott boys on the bench. This is where Carterville needs to take advantage of that.
Make hay right here, boys. And the Panthers throw it away. Bryce Anderson gets it. Gets it to Caden Hawkins. Brings it the other way. Long three from Caden Hawkins is good. He's got 8 in the game, and Carterville leads it by 1.
Yeah, I think it's Carterville's first lead of the game.
Panthers ball, kick to the right side. Open three is short, and Caden Hawkins gets the board for the Lions. Both coaches are up. They're shouting at their teams. Open Caden Hawkins, 3 ball, no good. And Ben Hake comes in over the back, picks up a foul.
Yeah, I think that's a case where the sophomore Hawkins just too juiced up. He hit that big 3. He wanted to hit another big 3 instead of just relaxing a little bit.
If he hits the second one, that's a big momentum swing.
Yes, it is.
Lions lead it by 1. 2.5 remaining. Shane Hawkins, good thing he's wearing tennis shoes. And what a great job by Bryce Anderson going after a loose ball. He throws it back off the legs of Adcock on the near sideline, and Carterville gets the ball.
Wow. I'll tell you what, these guards for Carterville, Biddle, Hawkins, Anderson, they create so many problems for other teams, especially on the defensive end.
The intensity of this team is just amazing. Long three, Peyton Biddle, his shot no good. Carterville gets it back. Downen has it to Caden Hawkins. Drove down the lane, leaves it for Hake. His shot no good. Eli Downen the rebound and the putback. Carterville's heating it up, folks. They've got a 3-point lead at the 2:08 mark. Panthers ball round to the left wing. They were down by 7. Starting play here in the third. Open top of the key is good. A 2-pointer. Restoff gets it. His first field goal of the game. And it's 32-31, Carterville.
Only their second field goal of this second half. The pace is picked up, Mr. McKenzie.
And intensity. Carterville slows things down. Top of the key, it's Peyton Biddle. Now cross court to Anderson. Top of the circle to Caden Hawkins. Clock rolls 1:25. Pinckneyville sets back. The defender comes up top. Carterville has to pass it. 1-point lead for the Lions. Skip pass to Anderson toward the right side. Back to Peyton Biddle. Now top of the circle to Caden Hawkins. Stands on the logo just on the Lions side of midcourt. Ball in left hand. Left side to Peyton Biddle.
Looks like Carterville's going to try to do what Pinckneyville did to them at the end of the first half.
Yes, exactly. Pinckneyville held the ball for about 90 seconds and hit the 3. Oh, what a spin move. Caden Hawkins can't get it to fall. He's got that move down, just can't get it to finish. And now the Panthers can hold with the last 45 seconds on the clock. Field goal would give them the lead. The shot from 3 is no good. Carterville gets the board. Peyton Biddle. Now the Lions a chance for that final shot. Shane Hawkins put the hands up, said slow it down. Caden Hawkins slows down, left-right dribble, back and forth with the left hand to the right. 23, 22, 21 remaining in the third quarter. Carterville took the lead at the 5:08 mark after trailing by 7 at the half. And Carterville throws the ball out of bounds. They're going to say it was off the hands of Ben Restoff.
Yeah, you got to
be a break there.
Yeah, it's very, very much so. You got to be careful with those passes from one side to the other.
Eli Downen triggers to Bryce Anderson. 10 seconds on the clock. Caden Hawkins has the ball. Brings it across the timeline to the free throw. Left elbow shot. Falls for Caden Hawkins. 1 second. Long shot at the buzzer. No good. And folks, The Carterville Lions have fought their way back here in the third quarter after being down 7 at the half. They lead the Panthers by 3, 34-31, heading to the fourth quarter. Stay tuned. Exciting Southern Illinois River-to-River Conference action continues next on News Radio WJPF. (34-31) as we start play here in the fourth quarter.
Carterville outscored Pinckneyville 14-4 in the third, shot 40% from the field.
Carterville's ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Lions.
Yeah, you can't get lazy with your passes on the perimeter. Pinckneyville is just waiting to cut in front of one of those passes and go the other way.
Anderson will trigger from the far corner. Carterville trailed by 7 at the half. They lead by 3 here. As we start play in the fourth quarter, Caden Hawkins to Ben Hake. Now to Downen. Downen left-hand dribble, just hands it to Caden Hawkins. Steps inside the elbow, puts it up, no good. The rebound comes off to Biddle. His shot off the back of the iron, and a foul is going to be called on Caden Hawkins, and that's going to be foul number 3.
Fouls on the Lions, 21. Hawkins, his third.
Not a great shot by Hawkins to begin with, but Carterville got the offensive rebound. Biddle wide open in the corner, but he couldn't get it to go.
34-31. Carterville 3-1 in conference. Pinckneyville 3-2. Nashville Hornets are 4-0 to lead the conference. As one of the Scott boys hits the floor, right-hand layup is good from Restoff. He gets the right-hand layup, and they pulled to within one. Carterville up 34-33.
Carterville just needs to take their time offensively. Pinckneyville's gone back to a man-to-man.
Caden Hawkins matched up with Adcock on him defensively. Now to Bryce Anderson. Anderson just inside the arc, leaves it to Downen. Downen left-hand dribble inside the paint. Turnaround jumper. Yeah, he does get it to fall. Got the shooter's roll there. And he's got a dozen in the game, and Carterville's back up 3.
Well, if they can get down and to get going.
Bryce Anderson picks the pocket of Adcock, turns it over. Lions have it again. Peyton Biddle here toward the left wing. Right-hand dribble toward Anderson. Anderson now. Between the circles, over to Eli Downen on the right wing. Thought about the step-back jumper, but he gets it to Anderson. His 3 from the top of the key is no good, and the rebound to Pearson Lanius for the Panthers. Into the game for the first time tonight. On the right side, right wing, Ben Restoff. They work around the perimeter now to Mole. Mole drives down the lane, kicks it out to the right side. Open jumper from 15, no good. Peyton Biddle gets the board for the Lions.
Carterville's got a 3-point lead. They can run clock, take a good shot.
Nice backdoor pass from Caden Hawkins, and a charge is called on Bryce Anderson as he runs over the Pinckneyville defender.
Fouls on the Lions.
Pinckneyville.
Anderson, his second personal foul.
Pinckneyville coaxed Carterville into that.
In for the Panthers,
they were waiting for that back door.
Number 11, Riggins, and number 20.
That's 2 turnovers now for Carterville. Pinckneyville in this second half, 8 turnovers.
36-33, 5:30 remaining. In the backcourt with the ball, Riggins. Peyton Biddle has the defensive pressure on him for the Lions. Down to Riggins. Left side it goes. Shapansky. Now back to Riggins. Left-hand dribble. Over to the right wing. That's where Restoff takes over. Carterville's D is strong. They hear it from their bench players here just below us in Pinckneyville. Under 5 to play here in the contest. From the free throw line, jumper is high off the rim. Rebound by Dre Scott, and he got fouled. And I think they may get that on number 22. That's going to be on Ben Hake.
His third.
Dre Scott's been a beast on the offensive glass. That's his 4th offensive rebound, but that's only Pinckneyville's 1st offensive rebound in the second half.
Timeout is called on the floor, and it's at the 4:49 mark. Carterville's up 3, 36-33. We'll be back here with Lions Sports on News Radio WJPF. 30, I believe. I believe. Go on and take it 60. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by the Bank of Carbondale, offering the convenience of mobile banking. Stay connected on the go with the Bank of Carbondale's mobile banking app. That's where you can check balances, make transfers, pay bills, and a whole lot more. Visit tboc.com to learn more about mobile banking. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Dre Scott is at the stripe to the far end from where we're located, shooting 2 free throws. After the foul by Ben Hake, Scott hits the free throw. He's got 4 points, all from the line tonight.
Yeah, he's got all their points from the line. 4 of 5 for Pinckneyville.
The senior's second is good. In that first game a week ago, back on the 13th, he had 10 points. He's got 5 here tonight. Caden Hawkins. Pass to the right corner to Hake. He misses the jumper, and it's Scott that gets the board, takes it to the rim, gets the foul and the bucket. The foul is going to be called on Bryce Anderson on the reach-in. And Dre Scott cranks it up a notch and goes to the line to shoot the and one.
Yeah, a long rebound, and Scott just
speed,
like shot out of a cannon. He was underneath the basket. Hake had a wide-open look. Carterville 0 for 3 on threes in this second half.
Dre Scott's and one is good.
Yeah, can't put him at the free throw line.
Panthers lead it by 2 now. They're up 38-36, 4.5 remaining in the game. Caden Hawkins now to Peyton Biddle, down low to to Eli Downen, and a travel is called on Eli Downen as he shuffled the feet trying to set up the hook, and it's going to give the ball back to the Panthers.
Now, there's sometimes Eli just gets in too big a hurry when he gets the ball. He knows where he wants to go, but he takes too many steps to get there.
Panthers break the press in the backcourt. Now they're going to work around the perimeter. They have a 2-point lead, 38-36. Carterville took the lead, or tied it, at the 5:08 mark of the third and held the lead until now. After that last bucket by Dre Scott. Top of the circle, they back it up. Riggins now to Shapansky.
Oh,
that was a walk not called, and a block from Eli Downen. The shot from Shapansky's no good. Here come the Carterville Lions. Caden Hawkins, spin move inside the free throw line, air ball, jumper out of bounds, doesn't hit anything, gives the ball back to the Panthers.
Yeah, sophomore trying to do a little bit too much right now. You're only down by 2, you got the ball. Run some clock, try to get down a one-on-one underneath.
Panthers have it. Caden Hawkins matched up defensively on Restoff. Restoff breaks the timeline. 3:20 remaining in the game. Scott passes up the three from the left wing, Kellen Scott, but from the right side, it's Riggins that doesn't pass up the three ball, and the ball is off the hands and out of bounds of Niall Adcock. Turnover on the Panthers, going to give it back to the Carterville Lions.
Carterville may have got away with a bump on that,
Maybe.
but we're not going to complain.
Carterville's ball, 3:10. Inbounds pass to Peyton Biddle. Hawkins takes it between the circles, now left wing to Bryce Anderson. Skip pass to Hake. Hake gets it down low to Downen. They work it around the perimeter. Bryce Anderson for a three. Shane Hawkins wants a timeout. Big shot from Bryce Anderson. He's got 2 threes in the game, and Carterville just took the lead back, 39-38. Hawkins called the timeout. It's going to be a quick timeout for 30. Lions lead it here on News Radio WJPF.
If Pinckneyville doesn't score on this possession, if I'm Carterville, I hold the ball. I don't take another shot. Make them foul you.
I agree.
Now, the other part of that is you have to hit your free throws, but
39-38, Scott Hudson, an insight into what you would do.
if Pinckneyville does not score on this possession, Carterville leads 39-38. The Panthers don't score. I'm Carterville. I get the ball, and I run my offense until Pinckneyville comes out to foul me. I don't take another shot until Pinckneyville fouls me. Now, the other part of that equation is if they foul you twice, they've still got a foul to give. But if they foul you, you got to hit your free throws.
Exactly. Carterville's nursing a 1-point lead, 2:45 remaining. The Panthers have the ball, though. Back and forth lead changes a couple of times here, late third quarter into the fourth. Dre Scott drives the lane, gets an opening and a bump foul by Ben Hake. And the and one for Dre Scott. That's two of them here in the second half for Scott.
Yeah, that's Dre Scott, just that real quick first step. Had Hake on his hip, and I didn't really see much of a foul there, but doesn't matter.
Dre Scott broke it into double digits. He has 11. He had 10 the first time these two teams played. Kellen Scott checks out. Trey Mole comes into the game for Coach Bob Wagner. Now it's a 2-point Panther lead.
Now scratch my plan.
Best laid plans.
I know.
Oh, man, Peyton Biddle wasn't even looking for the return pass from Caden Hawkins and fortunately got it back. Back and forth between the two sophomores, Caden Hawkins and Peyton Biddle. Now Hawkins takes it right side but brings the pass back to the left to Peyton Biddle. Biddle to Hawkins. 2:02 remaining. Showing the patience with the basketball. Hake has it to the elbow, leaves it to Caden Hawkins. Head fake, takes it down the lane, kicks it out to Peyton Biddle, now to Bryce Anderson. Carterville showing great patience. Jumper from Bryce Anderson is big time. He buries it from the free throw line, tied up at 41.
What a big time shot by the senior Anderson.
1:40 mark of the fourth.
Now does Pinckneyville play for the last shot?
I bet they do. This game, back on the 13th, the Carterville had the 7-point win. We're tied at 41 with 1:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. I'm going to have to stand up, Scott Hudson. Can't take it no more. Panthers ball, minute 13. 10 on the clock. Riggins, top of the circle, back and forth. Peyton Biddle on him. Carterville's matched up man-to-man. They force the ball up top. Now it's Restoff. Over to the left wing with the ball, that's Mole. And travel not called on the Panthers. They get it to Restoff. Clock continues to roll. 47, 46, 45. Yes, Pinckneyville looks to be holding for the final shot. Who would take it? Scott, who's the shooter?
I think they're going to go to Dre Scott. He's had the best game of all the Panthers.
He's standing quietly just above the free throw line, just inside the arc. 28, 27, 26. Everybody else on the floor for the Panthers are running back and forth across the top of the circle. Dre Scott now moves down to the low block with 16 seconds to go. 15. They're setting the offense now with the basketball. Duke Riggins toward the top, under 10. This is it for the game. Tied at 41. Dre Scott with the ball. Jumper from the free throw line, no good. Rebound, Carterville, and the clock expires, and we are going to overtime. Well done by the Panthers, just couldn't finish it, and that's going to send us to overtime here at Pinckneyville. And I think the officials are going to look at the clock to see if there was time called. Let's see what they do. They're huddled up. We're going to go to overtime, it appears. We're tied at 41. No, excuse me. We're going to keep it here. 0.3 seconds on the clock. So after conferring, they put 0.3 of a second back on the clock. We've got a timeout on the floor. What can you do with 0.3 seconds?
Well, you throw it, and it's basically just got to touch your hand. And you can't grab it and shoot it. There's not enough time.
So here's what I would do.
I'd throw it towards
Eli Downen is my trigger man, and Cade Lustenberger and Ben Hake and
Jay
Kickson are on the floor, because you're right. All you can really do is just tip it.
Or like in football in a situation like this, throw the long ball and hope for a foul. I mean, you might get a foul.
0.3 seconds remaining here in regulation. We're tied at 41. It will be Eli Downen to trigger. Ben Hake on the floor, but I don't see any other big guys. It's all short guys now. The other three, Hawkins, Anderson, and Peyton Biddle. Carterville takes the ball. The shot from half off the eye from Bryce Anderson.
Holy
from
cow.
the three-quarters court. Woo, that was close.
That just about went in.
We're going to overtime, folks. Tied at 41. This is Lions basketball on News Radio WJPF.
Man, that would have, if they would have counted that, there'd been some unhappy Panthers here.
It would have counted. It was good.
Yeah, I think he got rid of it.
I was watching that replay because it's delayed here. It was like 1.2 left. That should have been 1.2.
We're lucky we got the 0.3. Back at Pinckneyville, we're going to overtime, tied at 41.
Yeah, great second half by Carterville. A great third quarter by Carterville. Got them back in the game. They outscored Carterville 14-4 in that third. Carterville very resilient, a very resilient team. 41-41, 4-minute overtime. Pinckneyville will have the ball to start the extra session.
What a game. Just exactly like we figured it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a 7-point win for the Lions the first time up. You knew Pinckneyville was going to play better.
They're giving Carterville the ball first. Okay, they've got the arrow wrong up on the board, so.
Carterville gets it.
Now, I'm not even going to say play for the last shot. I'm not even going to go there.
Carterville turns it over. Dre Scott gets it out on the run, and the flush from Dre Scott.
And they caught a technical, I think, for hanging on the rim.
Yes, they did, and Bob Wagner's not happy. Technical foul on Dre Scott.
That is his fourth.
$15 points, and at the line shooting the technical for the Lions will be Eli Downen. Eli with a neat dozen. First free throw rims out.
And Carterville has not been good at the free throw line in this second half. They're now 0 of 3.
The 6'4 senior, Eli Downen, at the stripe to the left. And short arms that one off the front of the iron. Carterville can't convert, so they still trail by 2. It's 43-41, Panthers on top. Dre Scott heads to the Pinckneyville bench to our right. And the Lions have the ball after the technical. Great opportunity for Carterville there. Missed with the missed free throws. Peyton Biddle drives, puts the shot up. It's blocked from behind. Panthers get it, but Peyton Biddle picks up a foul as he ran into Panther player.
Fouls on the Lions, number 12, Biddle, his third, 8th team foul.
Nice hustle by Biddle.
Yeah, great hustle by Biddle. But on the offensive end,
for the Panthers, Adcock.
He's going towards the hole with at least 2, if not 3 Panthers there, and they're all bigger than he is. You're not going to be able to get that shot off.
They were inviting him to drive.
Yeah.
Free throw on the other end is good from Niall Adcock.
And if Pinckneyville ends up winning this game, it will be from the free throw line.
Yep.
Because they are perfect in the second half. 5 of 5. Carterville 0 of 4.
The 6'3 junior Adcock misses the second. Down and gets the rebound for the Lions. Clock rolls at 3.5 remaining here in overtime. Carterville trails by 3. Ben Hake to Caden Hawkins. Now over to the right wing. That's Eli Downen. Kellen Scott matched up on him defensively. 3:15. Step back jumper from Downen to Strong. Put back from Caden Hawkins. It bounces a couple times, so it doesn't fall. And the Panthers get the board. Into the front court, it's Restoff. Now they work it to the left side. With the ball, that's Adcock. Top of the circle to Kellen Scott. To the right side it goes. Now it's Restoff. It takes over between the circles. Right side to the right wing. That's Trey Mall. He didn't play in the first matchup between these two teams, but he's back tonight.
Carterville's going to have to foul.
Nice backdoor pass. They get it from Mold to Restoff. Restoff just kisses it off the glass, and we have a timeout at the 2:37 mark, and it's a 5-point lead for the Panthers now. And we will take a break here with 2:37 remaining. It's Lions basketball on News Radio WJPF. Yes. (46-41), Panthers with the 5-point lead, 2.5 remaining in overtime. Eli Downen loses the handle, and the ball winds up right in the hands of Kellen Scott.
Yeah, just sloppy play here in the overtime by Carterville.
Great pressure by the Lions, and Bob Wagner calls timeout from way behind the play because they were close to a 10-second violation. Timeout is taken by Pinckneyville. It's a 60 as well. We'll take that break with you. Lions trail by 5, 46-41 here on News Radio WJPF.
Well, that didn't take long.
Nope. Hey, everybody online. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching. Oh, Pinckneyville turns it over. Peyton Biddle gets it and makes it off the glass for the Lions. On the inbound pass, he stole it, and Caden Hawkins steals the inbound pass again. Jumper, no good. And the rebounds to the Panthers. Carterville trails it by 3 now. 2:05 remaining in the game, and a foul on Eli Downen as he came out and hit Kellen Scott.
Boy, how big would that have been if Caden Hawkins could have knocked that shot down? It would pulled Carterville to within 1 after 2 consecutive turnovers by Pinckneyville. Well, we got the other Scott at the free throw line. Let's hope he doesn't convert like his brother did.
Kellen Scott's at the stripe, shooting the free throw. It rims out, and it's Eli Downen. That gets the board for the Lions. So we're under 2, actually under a minute 50 remaining in overtime. Carterville trails by 3. It's 46-43. Cade Lustenberger into the game now for Shane Hawkins. He has the ball, gets it down to Downen. Downen runs into a triple team. The ball is tipped out of bounds, and Carterville's lucky it stays with them.
Yeah, Carterville doesn't need a 3, but if it's there, I take it.
And Pinckneyville really cracked. They had a triple team on Downen when he got the ball down on that block. Lustenberger has it, drives the baseline, backs his man down, went in the air, didn't have anything he could do with it. Somehow, it almost wound back up in Lustenberger's hands. Not a smart play there by the Lions. And so the Panthers are going to have the ball with 1:28 and a 3-point lead. Bob Wagner calls a timeout, and he's heating it up on that sideline right now. We've got a timeout as well. We'll just keep it here, Scott, as we have 1:28 remaining, 46-43. And Carterville unusually a little bit of slop with the ball tonight.
Yeah, especially in this overtime. I mean, they've made some bad decisions. I really didn't have a problem with Lustenberger going to the hole. He's got a little bit of size, but he had Kellen Scott on him. So if you're going, if you're going to go up, you've got to draw the foul there. You've got to draw the foul. If not, you kick the ball out and you reset your offense.
Okay, after the timeout, 1:28 showing on the clock. It's a 3-point Panther lead. Length of the floor to go for the team in white. That's the home team Panthers. They get it to Adcock, breaks the press over to the left side. You can bet they're going to hold as long as they can. Carterville's going to have to come up and foul. Carterville has 19 fouls. So that foul from Downen that he just committed is going to put Kellen Scott at the line, and he's going to be shooting 2 because Pinckneyville's in the double bonus.
Yeah, Scott missed his last attempt at the free throw line.
Kellen Scott, the 6'2 sophomore, hits the first. He's got 4 points in the game. Stay with us. We'll have our Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating postgame show. We'll name our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game. Second free throw from Scott is good. And now it's a 5-point lead, 1:14. Carterville's going to have to move with some pace here. Downen's open for 3. Top of the key. Too strong. Rebound, Panthers. Outlet pass to Restoff. Carterville's trying to pick up the pressure. They get it to Scott. Kellen Scott takes it to the rack. Left-hand layup is good. That may have iced it right there for the Panthers. 7-point lead, 50 seconds. Long 3, Peyton Biddle, in and out, and good for Peyton Biddle. Man, that was an NBA 3. Peyton's got 8. We have a timeout on the floor. It's a 4-point game for the Panthers. We'll take a break as well here on News Radio WJPF. Uh, 30, please. 50-46, the Panthers lead the Carterville Lions.
Well, Carterville will obviously be looking to get a steal on the inbounds pass. If they can't, they're going to have to foul immediately. I would suggest fouling somebody besides a guy named anybody that doesn't have the last name Scott.
That's true. Length of the floor to go, Panthers ball. Inbounds, winds up with Riggins. Runs into a double team, found an open man at midcourt. They break the press. And a foul is going to be called on Cade Lustenberger.
Fouls on the Lions, number 40, Lustenberger.
And so that's going to put Trey Mole at the stripe.
At the line for the Panthers, Trey Mall shooting 2.
They have a 4-point lead with 41.1 seconds on the clock. Mole, the 6'3 junior, first free throw was good.
They have only missed 3 free throws all night long. They have been deadly.
Much better game than they had the first time.
Yes.
Second for Mole is good. 52-46. Anderson's shot is blocked. Panthers get it. And Pinckneyville's going to win this game. You know, now what this does to the conference. Carterville and Pinckneyville will be tied at 3 and 2. Excuse me.
At the line for the Panthers.
Panthers will be 4 and 2 in conference. Carterville will be 3 and 2. And big win for the Panthers. First free throw is good from Duke Riggins. 7 for Riggins.
Yeah, Carterville had a great second half, fought back, had it down by 7.5, sent this thing into overtime, but they just could not make good decisions in the overtime.
53-46, Panthers the lead. Caden Hawkins throws it at the rim, no good. Panthers get the board. Out, it's Adcock that runs away with it. And the ball actually goes out of bounds, and they're going to keep it with the Panthers. So looking at the conference right now, Nashville is 4-0. Carterville will be 3 and 2. Pinckneyville will be 4 and 2, so they'll be in second place. Carterville's putting pressure, 10 seconds on the clock, but the final score is going to be the Panthers 53, Carterville 46. That's going to be your final. Stay with us. Our Charlie's Air Conditioning postgame show coming up next on News Radio WJPF. Bum, bum, bum. So lonely.
2, 3, 4.
Ba-dum, bum, bum. 53-46, the final score here at Pinckneyville tonight. The Pinckneyville Panthers avenged the loss they had back on February 13th. So the two teams split their conference games this season. And the Panthers tonight come away with the 53-46 overtime winner at home against the Carterville Lions.
Yeah, just Carterville and Pinckneyville both had 26 rebounds in the game. Biddle and Downen both led Carterville with 6, 10 for Adcock to lead to lead Pinckneyville. Carterville 10 turnovers in the game. Pinckneyville with 12. Remember, Pinckneyville only had 1 turnover in that first half, so they turned the ball over 11 times in the second half. Shooting, Carterville finished 15 of 52 from the field, 17 of 45 for Pinckneyville. Carterville 6 of 20 from beyond the three-point arc. Carterville also only 4 of 10 from the free throw line. You only shoot 40% from the free throw line, you're not going to win many games. Pinckneyville 4 of 13 from beyond the arc. But the game was won from the free throw line for Pinckneyville. They hit, let's see here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 free throws, and they only missed 4. 4 in the second half. So they were like 13 out of 18 from the free throw line. So right there's the ball game for you right there.
Yep, you're exactly right. 53-46, the final score. Looking at the scoring for the Panthers tonight, they were led by the 6'5 senior Dre Scott. He winds up with 15 unofficially for the Panthers. Also in the scorebook for Coach Bob Wagner, Ben Restoff with 6, Duke Riggins with 7, Niall Adcock double figures at 10, Kellen Scott chipped in 7, Trey Mole with 4, Baden Shazansky with 4, and Joey Iacino with 2. 53 points scored by the Panthers. Carterville tonight led by the 6'4 senior Eli Downen. He winds up with an even dozen. Caden Hawkins had 10. Had Bryce Anderson and Peyton Biddle with 8. Cade Lustenberger with 6. Carterville scores 46 tonight against the Panthers.
Yeah, unofficially, Pinckneyville was 11 of 17 from the free throw line. So they went to the free throw line 7 more times than Carterville. That was reversed in the first game. Carterville went to the free throw line and made more than Pinckneyville did. But, I give Carterville all the credit in the world. They're down by 7 after a very good second half of shooting the ball, but they didn't play good defense in the second half, so that's why they're down by 7. Then they come out going a 14-4 run. Get the lead, have the lead in the fourth quarter. Pinckneyville ends up tying it, misses a game-winning shot at the buzzer. But Carterville, in overtime, just too many mistakes. I think what I would call mental mistakes that allowed Pinckneyville to escape tonight with this win.
53-46, the Panthers get the win. We're going to take a break here on our Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating postgame show. And when we come back, hopefully we'll talk to Coach Shane Hawkins. Also, don't forget, Scott, we got to name our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game tonight. We'll have that all coming up here as we continue with Lions basketball on News Radio WJPF. Okay. Dre Scott?
Yep, has to be. Has to be. I'm actually surprised they called that. And in an overtime, kid goes, unless it's just, I wouldn't have called it. I'd put it that way. Well,
girls beat Carbondale tonight.
That's good.
(53-46) the final score at Pinckneyville. The Panthers do avenge that loss from February 13th, where the Lions took the home game there. But now, Nashville perfect 4-0 in conference. Pinckneyville is 4-2. Carterville now is 3-2 in conference. The Carterville has 2 games in hand, as we're going to be heading to Nashville on March 1st, then have Nashville at home sometime this next week as well. So still a lot of basketball to be played.
Yeah, still a lot of basketball and still a lot to be determined in this conference. If Carterville could somehow, beat Nashville twice, which would be a tall order. If they could, well, that just throws this conference, just throws it up into, anybody has a chance then. But I was impressed with the way Carterville played in the second half. They brought the pressure defensively in that third quarter, which has been their staple all year. They shot the ball better in the third quarter, and they had Pinckneyville on the ropes. And Carterville had a lead in the fourth quarter, let it slip away, but then tied it. And it was a good basketball game, from both teams. We expected Pinckneyville to play better than they did, the first meeting. And Carterville got smacked in the mouth early in the game, but they didn't back down, and they played well. Just again, I think what I would call mental mistakes in that overtime cost Carterville this game.
Lions trailed the entire first 3 quarters of the game. They tied it at 27 at the 5:08 mark of the third. So you got to give them credit. They trailed 14-6 at the end of the first. They were down 7, 27-20. Then when they came out of the halftime break, put that pressure on, just like we've seen them do all year. It wasn't 7-point lead. I wasn't worried about them. And they come back and they take the lead at the end of 3, 34-31. It's tied at 41 at the end of regulation, and Bryce Anderson almost made a 3/4 length shot at the buzzer that would have counted and gave the Carterville Lions the lead, but it bounced off the rim. We go to overtime, 53-46, the final score. We need to name our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game.
Well, I think you got to go with the guy who did it most of the night for Pinckneyville. That's Dre Scott, the 6'5" senior, 15 points. He was second in rebounding on Pinckneyville's team with 8. Of those 8, half of those were offensive rebounds. He was really a force, especially in that first half. Carterville did a little bit better job on him in the second half, and he got in foul trouble. The coach of Pinckneyville got mad at Dre and just put him on the bench in the second half. Just, you're sitting. And, Carterville really never took advantage of that, but I give Pinckneyville all credit for this, too. I thought they did a very good job from start to finish of not letting down and dominate like he did in the second half about 10 days ago.
Dre Scott is our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. It's owned and operated by Joe and Lindsay McCann at Carterville. For over 20 years, they specialize in commercial, residential lawn care, landscape maintenance, tree trimming, snow removal. They're a customer-oriented business, which means that they're not just going to rush in and rush out with your lawn care services. Don't forget, they also specialize in spring and fall cleanups. I know Joe was busy as a Dickens last week with all the snow removal. They do bush hogging, tree trimming, removal, equipment repair. 618-534-8148. That is the number that you can call for Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. Dre Scott of the Pinckneyville Panthers tonight, our Joe's Lawn Care and Snow Removal star of the game.
Good ball game.
Good ball game.
2 good teams. I think, to me, Carterville didn't win, but they impressed me with this. After the win against Pinckneyville 10 days ago, after the big win against Centray on Saturday night, this game, win or lose, proved to me that Carterville's legit, that they're a good team. Whether they didn't win the game, but they were able to come back and take this into overtime against a team that very rarely loses on this floor. So I think Carterville's for real. I think the kids believe in themselves. They didn't get the win tonight. I'm sure it hurts now, but Carterville's for real, and they're going to give teams like Nashville, who they still have to play twice, they're going to give that team and everybody else they play games, good games, because I think this Carterville team's got the talent. They've got some sophomores that are learning, baptism by fire, as they say. So we'll see how it goes, but I was impressed with the Carterville comeback tonight, even though it fell a little short.
And I'll give you Coach Shane Hawkins' answer when you tell him that in the first question. There are no moral victories.
I don't want to be pushed down the bleachers. So I've learned.
I understand.
The older you get, the
You're
smarter
right.
you get, I think.
You're right, but we'll lead with something else, I think. How about that? We'll go ahead and take another break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have a chance to talk to Coach Shane Hawkins. If not, we'll wrap up the broadcast. Panthers beat your Carterville Lions tonight, 53-46. Stay with us here on News Radio WJPF.
Oh.
Ready for a what? Back at Pinckneyville, where the Panthers get the win tonight, 53-46. Next up for the Carterville Lions, they'll play on Friday night when it's senior night. This Friday night when they host DuQuoin at home. Tip is slated for about 7:45 on Friday night, as the boys are going to get to rest Saturday. No game on Saturday, but there's 4 games next week, and then the final 2 the week after. Tonight, the Panthers knock off your Carterville Lions 53-46. Coach Shane Hawkins joins us here on our post-game show. Coach, let that one get away.
Yeah, we did. I thought we kind of let it get away early. We fought back, but we weren't very good the first quarter. Kind of dug ourselves a little bit of a hole. Fought back. They hit one out of bounds, or hit one from underneath out of bounds right on the right at the buzzer at halftime to extend it to 7. And I thought our approach to start the second half, I thought our approach to the third quarter was really good. We talked about not trying to get it back in 2 minutes. We didn't have to have the lead by the max timeout. It was a 16-minute game. You're down 7. We had to be able to string possessions around offensively and defensively to get back in the game, and probably happened a little bit faster. But I thought for about the whole quarter of the third quarter was probably the best we executed. I thought we were better defensively. We got what we wanted. We had a little bit more patience there in the third quarter, and kind of got the shots we wanted, and that got us back in the game. And the one thing we talked about with our guys was I thought casualness gets us sometimes. They got our JV guys in the fourth quarter. They were up 20 going into the fourth quarter and got really casual, and then had to fight like heck just to pull out a win. And so our job, or our goal, is to get rid of the casualness. And it's not an all the time thing, but it rears its head. And we got us a couple lazy turnovers tonight. I don't know if we were necessary. I think some of the stuff at the rim, we were casual. We just thought it was, we had the shot. Sometimes we just didn't finish it. But, once we eliminate the casualness, where every single cut or pass or shot or checkout or screening action, when everything is Game 7 of the finals with that mentality, then we've got it figured out.
Coach, I thought, throughout the game, Pinckneyville would go from zone to man, back to zone, back to man. It seemed like they were almost saying, okay, if you're going to beat us, you got to beat us from the outside, because they weren't going to let down and, just roam in the paint. But you, as you said, that third quarter, you started hitting those shots, and it looked, you had all the momentum. And, boy, we thought going into overtime, you know, and again, in overtime, I think you talked a little bit about it, you know, being casual. I thought there were some, you know, maybe, I don't know if you call them mental mistakes, or you maybe rushed some things in overtime when you didn't need to.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think that, and then it snowballed really, really fast. Yeah, I just, it was for, it's never with this group, and granted, we've played 8 games in 3 weeks or whatever it is. It hasn't been an effort thing. The effort's there. The execution sometimes is not real good, and sometimes that execution is due to casualness. And you know, I think we took some rush shots and we took some bad shots, and they're not necessarily the same. It was we took some bad shots, but we took some that maybe in the paint that we were trying to get it off before the defense got there. Or we didn't get completely squared up in the paint to go make a shot. So it's kind of falls in the same category, but there's bad shots and there's rush shots. And I thought we were really good in the third quarter when we heated them up a little bit and made it full court. They don't handle it extremely well, but our depth is not great right now. It's, you know, we're waiting for some of those guys to come back and help us a little bit, and, so we can play. We'd love to play. We're better when we play faster, but we need a couple more guys to come and help us out and produce a little bit, and get a little confidence so we can get them in instead of 1 minute or 2 minutes. Maybe it's 3 or 4 minutes, and we can give some of those other guys a break. And so that's what we got. We're 7 games left. We have 7 games and 5 practices. I mean, that never happens. Yeah. So we're going to go Friday, and then we're going to go Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. Play 6 games in 8 days. I mean, it's crazy. So we still have a chance to have a say in the conference. We're 2 back. We're tied with these guys. Nashville's got to play us twice, and these guys go to Nashville once. So
anything can happen.
There's a lot of games left in the league. There's no question, and there's none bigger for us than on Friday night when DuQuoin comes to town.
Yeah, we'd like to get that revenge win on DuQuoin. 53-46, the final score. Panthers knock off the Carterville Lions here this evening in Pinckneyville. Coach, thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you on Friday night.
All right, thank you, guys.
Shane Hawkins joining us here on the post-game show. And Carterville, you get a little bit of a rest with only 1 game on Friday night, because next week, 4 games, as Coach said, in 7 days.
Yeah, no rest for the weary next week, and you've got some big games against Nashville, obviously 2 of those. So it's going to be a tough week. But you know, one thing about it, you know, these are kids, and they're more resilient than guys like me and you. So you know, I'm sure they'll be able to handle the physicality of those games. They're going to be worn down. But as Coach Hawkins said, you know, it's funny because we talked before the game about Carterville's depth. But when he was sitting here saying that he needed others to step up, you know, it kind of dawned on me in this game there really wasn't that bench play that he had gotten in that first game against Pinckneyville.
Exactly.
And they needed somebody to step up, and they didn't get that tonight. But that's something they can work on maybe before the game Friday night. But good game here tonight, just didn't go Carterville's way.
Exactly. 53-46, the final score. Panthers get the win over the Lions. As we said, Friday night will be senior night at Carterville as they host the DuQuoin Indians. No game on Saturday, but then on Monday night it will be at Nashville. Tuesday will be at Anna Jonesboro. Friday will be Nashville at home in Carterville, and then on Saturday night head to Vienna for a non-conference game at Vienna. That's our game for tonight, 53-46, the final score. Thanks to Brian, our pal, back at the studio for his work, to my broadcast partner, Scott Hudson. For those that listen to us on News Radio WJPF, or if you watch us on our live stream, thank you so much. We appreciate it. It's a good ball game. But the Lions come up a little bit short tonight, 53-46. We'll talk to you Friday night right here on News Radio WJPF. God bless. Thanks, pal.